Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part two of Crate Expectations. If you have not watched part one, I can't take you seriously right now.
I'm trying to look as bland as possible. I still
I
can't
can't.
deal with it.
Ah,
Let me go back to cow mode.
stop. Okay. Part one is on Zara's channel. You can go and watch it, like, review, whatever. Subscribe,
Just
leave a
click the
comment.
review button.
That's like in a comment,
Yeah,
you leave a review. Maybe don't leave a review. Just leave a
just
nice comment and good
yeah.
old good
I'd
old
rather
emoji.
just yeah, like just do what one of my guys does, and just put one dot.
This is
And
derailing very quickly.
I'm like, good point.
Good point. Oh man.
I'm like, yeah, you can't. I didn't realize something that small could mount the algorithm, but
That's what she said. Uh,
you know, set it up.
I, yep. Uh, uh,
This
so
is a
some
really epic start.
this is great.
What are
Someone
we
about
even talking about
I
right
don't
now?
even know. I don't even know. We talked about a bunch of stuff on your channel, and I guess we're just going to continue it here. The main thing, first of all, before we even hop into this, we need to talk about this erodium comment because I
Oh,
am not in erodium.
I thought you wanted to talk about how people can buy my awesome XP mugs in my merchandise store on from YouTube.
That you're plugging on my channel.
I was holding it. I thought maybe you thought that, but okay, apparently I was wrong. Jeez. I noticed you're not drinking out of an XP mug. I'm gonna pause it
Okay,
for while Sarah gets her
I'm
composure
fine.
back,
We're
folks.
good. We're good.
That's only after I paused it for a while, though.
Have you been pausing it for a while?
No.
Okay.
I'm messing with you tonight, though. It's
Oh,
good.
jeez. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this erodium thing. I did not fall to erodium. I'm back in Kyber 4. It's
Oh, Lord.
fine. You
Words,
told me.
words
You
I
told
would
me.
never, words I will hopefully never say in my life.
You you
I'm
told me.
back in in Kyber 4
Just listen. You
with
told me.
pride.
You said do not stay in Kyber 5 and I listened to you. I went back to Kyber 4 and I'm relatively towards, kind of the top of Kyber 4. I'm sure there'll be a squish, whatever. So this means I have to try in 3v3, right? Like I got to keep the momentum going. You know what
My
you should
guess
do?
is, yeah, my guess, what? What
You
should
should
I, oh
log
no.
into my account and change my defenses.
I like the pre-Jasper defense, honestly. I
Oh
like I like
man.
the ring of it, man. Plus, then you'll have something. It's like my wedding pictures have pictures of when I had an eyebrow ring.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like it's a relic of the past. It's nice to have.
Anyway, okay, so maybe we'll leave it. But my point is, I'm in Kyber 4. However, somebody made this comment, and now I'm wondering if I should have done this. Should I have just fallen to Erodium, and then if I like didn't join GAC for a month and then joined, would I have gotten squished up to Kyber 1? Why not?
I think they fixed that anyways.
Did they?
I think so. Oh man,
They can fix
you know what,
that. They
Sarah?
can
I
fix that, but they can't spell permanent.
Let me just rewind a little bit and say I think it's worth a try. I think you should try it.
Stop it.
Uh, no, that's the most epic. And then you'll, dude. Oh my
I feel
gosh!
like you're
Just
having a Force Science moment.
I would love to see you up against Aesop, and he's like, oh, I'm facing someone with like more GP than usual, but they clearly care as much about GAC as all the other Erodiums in my group. Oh my lord, I would laugh.
Ah, maybe
I
like
would do a spit take.
you would do a spit take. I'm like, I feel like I want to figure out how I can make that happen without actually having to, GAC.
Dude, you're gonna be so short on crystals.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'll actually try in 3v3. Maybe. few times.
So next time, like in a month from now, we're going to be having this conversation. And it'll be about how you're going to make the best of Herodium.
No, I will try in 3v3. It'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
your video will say something along the lines of, "I didn't realize Herodium got squished too."
no, no, they get squished. Everyone gets squished. It's just a matter of if you get squished up or if you get squished down.
Oh, yeah, as long as you get squished.
We're all getting squished, just
That
like
sound squished at this point sounds like a euphemism for something.
yes.
All I want to do is get squished. I don't know about you.
I don't know why. Whenever, just a side note, I just envision like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory and Willy Wonka and Violet turning into a blueberry, and they have to go. And they're like, gotta go like press her, like just gotta go roll her away, and she's a blueberry now. Anyway, moving on. Do you want to talk about farming for the raid?
More than I want to talk about Wonka. Yes, please.
So we like mentioned this in between the two halves of this, thing. That I need. What did I say I needed? 24 shards of Qui-Gon, something like that.
Yeah, how are you getting those?
So I bought a few of them in the weekly store, which
Yeah.
bumped me up, and then I bought a couple from like the regular like shipments as they were showing up. So now I need 24. So I'm
So
just gonna
just
wait. Yeah,
like just light whaling, basically.
yeah, soft
No,
whaling.
not judging. 'Cause I've
Yeah,
done that a lot. I've done that a lot too. So I'm not at all. It sounds just because I'm giving you a hard time doesn't mean I'm always doing that.
yeah,
Eh,
yeah. Yeah, but I know you're not judging me on this because I feel like this makes sense to do in this case. Also, I don't have anything to farm, so I might as well spend my crystals here. Why would I spend them on Leviathan when I could just buy Qui-Gon shards?
See, you couldn't resist saying something about Leviathan.
It's my favorite thing.
I could tell.
I know.
It's
Anyway,
your favorite thing to bring me pain via Leviathan.
correct.
I'm gonna find a way to make you suffer about that. I'll find a way.
I have faith in you. Um, yes. So buying them in shipments because I figured like, especially once we realized how fast the raid was coming and we knew that they both lover boys weren't going to be farmable. I was like, this just makes sense to buy his shards and just get this done as soon as possible.
Now, if there's one character that you want to be light whaling right now, I actually agree. I think that's out of any of them, because Gungans they've made it so easy to farm like if you're serious about farming for Jar Jar and for the raid, you can have that done by the first time he comes back, which will
Yeah.
be less than a month now.
Hmm.
Like even if someone who's running your account like doesn't farm one of the Gungans for like a week straight or something, and then you realize it and just do it yourself manually,
Hmm.
you can still recoup and recover enough to the point that you get Jar Jar in time.
Hmm.
Yeah, is what I hear.
Supposedly.
Yeah, it's
They're,
all good.
they're farmed.
Not yet. I mean, tell me you're still not farming that character without telling me you're still not farming that character. But no, it's good. It's good. I'm not passive aggressive or bitter.
No.
You can tell. I'm just airing it on air so that it'll be awkward. No, it's fine. But seriously, they've made it very easy to get those characters.
They've been farmable for so long now.
Well, and they've given so many additive drops and different
Yeah.
ways to get them that it really is. Like my little account, if I wanted to farm them in time, I might be able to get them to 7 stars. I think I could have gotten them to 7 stars in time, but I don't have the gear available. There's just no way.
Yeah.
I'm still in the dark ages on my little account. I'm still working on. I have to actually have tonight. I have to unlock Bo-Katan. I could have last night, but I just didn't have time. So
Have fun with that stupid level.
I have to watch my own guides. I don't remember how to mod them, so it's real dumb.
Yikes.
But
Um,
the guides are really good. I'm
I know.
sorry, I'm just doing the plugs for all my stuff on your channel. Thank you.
I watched your guides when I did that event too, and you know, hated the event, but it's fine. I don't envy you having to do it 3 times.
That's very rude. My guides are wonderful.
I didn't say they weren't.
Oh, the event itself.
The
I thought you
event,
were like,
the
I
event
thought you were
itself.
taking a shot at my guide.
No, the event
You're like, you
itself.
have to watch that 3 times.
No, you have to do the event
All
three
right.
times, and I don't envy that. It's, your main Professor
Yeah.
X. Yeah.
Professor X actually just got a clean one shot through. I didn't
I
fail.
know. Rude. Anyway, um, yeah. So, okay, and this is the actual thing that I found pretty interesting about the raid so far, and we talked a little bit about this on your side. Is I feel like Jar Jar's not moving the needle much, at least from what I've seen in my own experience with the raid.
For the raid itself, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. For the raid itself is what I mean. But what is kind of at least to me humorous about this is I will get Jar Jar because I have the Gungans at Relic 8. So like I took them to Relic 8 for the raid, and obviously I'll be able to get Jar Jar when this event comes back around because you've hit the minimum requirements, whatever. But it almost feels like, and obviously I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but it almost feels like you wouldn't have to worry about putting gear on Jar Jar because I don't think putting him on the Gungan team in the raid is actually going to move the needle. Um, like what will move the needle for me with the Gungans is taking them to Relic 9 if I wanted to get a higher score.
Which is, by the way, I think one of the worst ways you can spend Relic 9 materials. Just
Yeah,
throwing it out there.
I don't think I'm going to do that. My initial plan is the Queenie Loverboy team to Relic 9, Gungans at Relic 8, and then see where everything else falls out from there and which one I want to take up. If I need to take another one up to Relic 8.
If you
Get
just
that.
get if you could just go 4 teams to get 2.7 each,
Mm-hmm.
that gets you to over 10 million.
I know, but I kind of want the 12 million box.
Okay. Oh, because you like they
Like
do
the
have a really
personal.
they do have a really fun little title, don't they?
I don't, I mean, if they have one, I'll take that too. I just kind of want to do it to say I did it.
Right? Yeah. Professor X wants that really bad too.
Professor X is not going to do it, is he?
We'll see. Actually, well, so here's the thing. This is one of the first raids where I'm like, I actually like most of the characters of most of these teams.
I do too.
Luminara, Kit Fisto, like I already got them to because I apparently guilted someone in our guild
You,
after I was like feeling so sick with just envy and hate and jealousy. Just
hmm
2 of those. I'll let you stew over which 2. When you said someone got you, like the Galactic, whatever, the Lightspeed bundle pack for the bad Jedi.
Yeah.
Someone in our guild got me that, and I was like, I was not trying to guilt anyone into it. I was just expressing my absolute rage at the situation. But I already have those guys at Relic 5 now, so at the very least I could get them to 7. That's not a big leap for that account. I could get them from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And then most of the teams though, I'm like, okay, Maul you already have at Relic 7 as requirement. Sidious already 7 as a requirement. All of those General Grievous characters, if they're not at 7, 7 is a good idea for them in general.
Yep.
And then the Jedi, like Keller and Beck, you already have at 7, so getting them to 8 isn't bad. Like, all of them are, like, very achievable.
Yeah. And also a lot of them aren't like there's the odd character that you're like, oh, I don't really like no one wants to take Eth Koth up. But you probably don't really need to. I haven't
No,
seen him on a team.
I don't think you have to. People who want to flex are doing it.
Yeah.
I saw someone get the 3.6 million with with Luminara, Kit, and Eth as the three.
Like just those three.
Yeah, got the screenshot. I was like, that must have taken forever. And they were like, yeah, it took forever. But it was, and they're modded like crazy. They're all Relic 9.
That's a
But
wild flex.
it is a wild flex. Seriously. Eth. Eth has, I think, the shortest leadership in the game.
Hmm.
I think it's 5 words.
I didn't even know he had a leadership.
That's the worst. Or the best, but regardless of.
Uh,
Oh my gosh, you gotta go read it sometime. It will not take you long.
I want to read it. I want to read it right now because why not? I feel like
Yeah.
that just makes sense, you know? It's Eth, you said? He is a leader. Okay. Wow. I didn't believe you for a second there.
I wish I had faked you out. That would have been better.
Oh, wow. Jedi allies gain 60 defense.
Dude, I love that it's stingy. It's
Like,
like, no, just Jedi. Like, no one else gets the defense. Like, all the old school characters are at least something like, resistance characters get this, and all other characters get half of that. And you're like, okay, well, I guess that's fair. He is resistance or whatever. But Eth is like, no, only Jedi, assholes.
yeah, you can't sit with us.
Yeah, like, the seat's taken. Like, you want in on this sweet defense, and you're not getting any.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Uh,
It's yeah. So I don't know really what else in terms of farming for the raid logically makes sense outside of the lover boys. Unlike, I mean, Gungans, but
unless they make Relic 9 and then like another reward tier on top of things, so that you could really have to have 9 to get to that top tier. But then they make that top tier worthwhile by giving us more Relic
mats.
9 or Relic 10 mats. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have to do that to make that tier worthwhile. Otherwise, there's no point.
No, well, because if your whole guild, what's the math? I actually haven't seen the math. I was gonna do it soon for a video.
It's just to get max crate.
Yeah, how many people have to get what? I
It's
can't
just
believe I'm
over
asking you what's the math.
It's just over 10 million. I think it's 10.2 or 10.4, something like
Okay.
that. It's just over 10. Call it 10 and a half and you'll be safe.
Now, all these characters are characters that I think are like, yeah, other than Luminara and Kit Fisto, maybe like Ayla. Even Ayla tends to be really useful sometimes. It's all characters you don't really regret farming. So as long as you're not doing anything crazy, you could just get everyone to Relic 7 or 8 or 9.
Yeah. But I really don't think you need to go past like Queenie and the Lover Boys to Relic 9 and then everyone else can be below that.
Yeah, like you kind of want Jar Jar at 9 because he gives you another stack of shield generator.
In the raid? Or just in general?
Now I'm trying to remember if it's just his Omicron that does that, or if it's just in general.
Oh. Well. We'll see.
We will, especially. How many Omicrons? Oh yeah. Do you think the raid Omicron is worth it?
I put it on right away.
CG definitely listened on that one.
I like that it's half. I think that is very fair. Which is also why I was like, okay, I'll do this. To me, putting a raid Omicron on, I'm gonna put it on right away. I'm not gonna hem and haw on whether or not it's worthwhile. If I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right away so I get the most investment out of it. Because I don't want to like do the raid for a month and then be like, oh, I should have put this Omicron on. I will say though, I am a little bit annoyed. Side note, we don't know how long this raid is going to be active for. They didn't tell us.
Well, they already kind of lied to us when they said it's going to be 8 to 9 months, and then I mean it's not that egregious, but it was like 7.5 months. Like very clearly not within the parameters that they had already established.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, like we have a month leeway, and they're like, oh, a month and a half. They're not going to notice.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
They didn't know about us though.
But they didn't tell
You and I.
No. They didn't tell us anything for this one, so we're just guessing on how long it would be. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 7 months, and we'll have a new raid in March, February or March.
Well, that's depressing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
Did you put the Omicron on?
on my main, yeah, and I'll probably do it for my alt. I don't know about the big question mark would be my second alt because I'll have them farmed up. I probably will get the Gungans up and ready by like November.
Mm-hmm.
But then it starts becoming like, oh well. I mean,
Is it?
if you're right, if I have them in November and then I apply the Omicron, then I'm only getting 4 or 5 months worth of use. Um, that becomes questionable. Otherwise, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it for my other two.
Mm-hmm.
My main account already did because it's actually a very impactful, and nice one. And there's a lot of reasons to do it this time. First off, it's super cheap, which is nice.
Yeah.
Second off, it impacts your overall numbers by a significant margin,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the scout one. Like even a half price, it just gives you a couple hundred extra thousand, and it wasn't moving the needle
Yeah.
far enough for me to think it was that worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and also you're getting more bang for your buck because you're only running 5 teams.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point too.
So like your team, how that team functions is it's like in the speeder bike raid, you had to worry about 8 teams, and it's like okay, I got a little worse this time. That I guess we'll just move on.
Right. And this time it's like, oh, I just missed the box that I needed or whatever.
Right?
Or you just fell shy of the score you needed for
Yeah.
whatever your guild goal was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this one has extremely worthwhile written all over it until
Mhm.
a certain point where it becomes, well, why would you do that?
Yeah. It's
You,
where is the line this time in terms of when you stop investing in this raid?
yeah. So
I'm
should
gonna
we?
say it's end of October.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry.
you for telling us that.
You're welcome. What were you gonna say?
Should we do questions?
Yes.
And then there's 2 more tasty tidbits to reveal.
I know. But they didn't tell us. Okay. So there's
Yep,
two
not
two
announced.
questions. Um, which I think will be uh not like super quick to get through, but I don't think they require lengthy explanations. Okay. Um,
Hold my beer. Hold my fizzy water.
Mohan said, so now that the Naboo raid is here and we know the next GL is going to be Ahsoka, where will, where or when will be the next raid if we want that raid to be the premium raid for the next GL? So I'm assuming if we want the next raid to be the premium raid for Ahsoka and being the next GL,
Mm-hmm.
where and when do we think?
So I feel like they could go a few different ways.
Yeah.
So the obvious one, but I don't know how they would do this, would be they could have it on the Peridia
Peridia. I was
planet.
thinking that too. That was my first thought was do you do Peridia?
Like my biggest hesitation is how many teams can you build for it? Like it kind of sounds like they're gonna just give us all the teams, so we have to farm every single new team to be able
Mm-hmm.
to do that raid. Because if you think, okay, like there's Ezra
Mm-hmm. Yes.
coming up
Conquest unit.
as a conquest unit, bearded Ezra, and then we'll have Snips to the 3 to the third
Mm-hmm.
power. We'll have, and then we'll have like all the Imperial remnants, like the Thrawn Imperial remnant group,
Yeah.
and then we'll maybe like they'll probably let us use Night Sisters as one of the factions as well,
Yep. I was thinking that too, Night Sisters.
and then I don't know, like. But that are they really gonna make us farm every single new thing? And what they let us use, like they just open the door for all Imperial remnants. So it's like, yeah, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon never went there, but sure.
Sure, why not? Um, yeah, I don't know what you do in that case.
Honestly, though, I mean that's a good question. If I had to bet, I would bet on Peridia.
Yeah. I feel like that's where they're taking the GL character just based off what we know the requirements so far. Um, because otherwise I don't know where
Oh,
you go.
we can do one of our things that people don't know right now. Actually, if this is if
Ooh.
fits in well.
Oh yeah, it does fit in well. Okay, so this was not in the road ahead because again, nobody proofreads.
They
Um,
they they mentioned that he'd be coming, but not in how or in what capacity.
well, they said how. Well, they said what kind of character he would be.
Okay, just spill it.
So,
Now I'm curious. What did I miss?
so this was not in the road ahead, but it was in game in like the newsletter thing that pops up that everyone just clicks out of really fast and doesn't bother to read. So Balin is also coming to the game from Ahsoka.
Right.
And they said he's going to be an epic confrontation.
Epic confrontation, and he's gonna have the mercenary tag.
Yeah, yes, and they didn't put that in the road ahead either. Um, so epic confrontation. So for people who don't, care about what character is what kind of release, that's the same way that Bo has been released. So it'll be like once a month, run for 3 or 4 days, and have your
Maybe.
characters. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
theoretically. If well, I mean, that's how they did Gas and Malik, and they were epic confrontations as well.
They weren't every month though, were they? I don't think they were.
I don't think they were every month, no, but it was the duration was the 3 day, typically over a weekend
Three
thing.
day
Yeah.
duration, sure. But yeah, I wouldn't count on the no need to worry about it because about the thing coming back, the event coming back, because I think maybe we shouldn't just assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea, and I don't read those little things. I'm like, yeah, I read the
No.
forums. I don't need to read their inane little newsletter that never has anything important on it.
And this time it did. I don't read them either.
Well, because they mentioned in what the one thing Meatface did mention was like in parentheses is like yeah, and also Balin's skull will be released or something like that. He said something,
Yeah.
just mentioned him, but not as an epic confrontation,
Mm-hmm.
not as
A
a
mercenary.
mercenary.
Well, and like
So
because he
uh,
just like casually dropped it in, I was like, oh, okay, so he'll probably be another marquee.
yeah, I figured, or I was like, or I guess maybe as her count like Thrawn seems like he would be the next
Yeah.
GL, frankly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I was like, I guess if they're going for people who don't really deserve Galactic Legend status, like, you could go with the
Uh,
orange lightsaber guy.
oh man. Oh, it was just so weird. Like, how was this not included?
I don't. Yeah, it's just very strange. Like he's there.
Yeah.
Gas is there. I wonder if they're gonna rename that character.
Uh,
That's so funny that they put it there. That's just one of the requirements.
who knows?
Gas.
Gas.
So, yeah, very stupid. So yeah.
That's that. Okay, so
Peridia, and instead of having the Naboo fighters
mhm.
who accomplish way more in our raid, I should say, than they do in the movie, um,
Yes.
we could have space whales do strafing runs for the raid,
Uh,
and we could have a
is
like
this gonna be
turtles
like
versus we could have like a turtles versus dogs raid.
I was gonna say is this gonna be like speeder whales?
What
Speeder whales.
is that a thing?
I don't know. Like speeder bike, and then you have like we're gonna have
Oh,
anyway.
I see. Like at the Endor raid.
Yeah.
I get it. Maybe we'll ride the turtles, the turtle people.
I'm literally just picturing riding like the turtle people and just being like, we charge at dawn. Anyway. Um
We charge at dawn. Nice.
okay, so next question and then the last tidbit that wasn't really released, but maybe is a surprise factor for most people.
I like that we're calling it a tidbit now. That's a good thing to have arrived on.
Thank you. I try. Um, Adam Motmata was asking, when you have farmed all of the regular energy hard nodes, so you have everything farmed on them, you don't need to do them. What are you farming for your daily 5 hard battles in the game?
Dude, I feel bad that he doesn't know this actually.
Well, I feel like
Dude,
a lot of people don't know this.
Okay. What do we not know? Let's make sure I know.
Yeah, you can just do mod battles,
Yeah.
and that for some reason counts as hard
Yep.
battles. Um, with regular, even though it says regular energy, but
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, just use your normal mods and buy mod materials. Like you don't
Mhm.
even have to buy mods themselves. It's just
Yeah, you can do like the slicing materials, and
yeah,
it counts.
yeah. Like I have never farmed a hard. I haven't farmed a hard node for a while on my main account. I guess that's not true. For a while, it was like for like a year, it was true. I was just doing only shipments,
Mm-hmm.
like light whaling, and now I have had like with the Gungans and stuff. I didn't get them all. Like I had to farm them actually. I had to
Mm-hmm.
do the hard work of it. I didn't,
So
but yeah,
sad.
very sad.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, you don't
yeah,
have to farm hard nodes for that,
that's what I do. So that's that.
and then you don't use them.
Yes, I do. I sliced a whole bunch of mods the other day.
Well,
I know. I just went crazy.
sounds out of character.
It was very out of character. Um, okay. So the last thing, this wasn't really anywhere in game. This was data mined. So
Oh, the final tidbit.
the final tidbit. So it's nowhere in the road ahead, nowhere in the newsletter in game that no one reads, but it was data mined.
This is data mined. Yeah.
Um, so it looks like we might be getting a territory war, like airplane mode submit forfeit style button.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, kind of like how
So
you could submit your raid scores. Same idea is what I'm gonna guess.
I've been thinking they should do that for so long, man.
So long. And like I'm assuming it would be if you forfeit, you're forfeiting your team. Like you're not gonna get to use the team again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it should still count as a loss
Yeah.
and everything, but it gives you the option to not preload, which I I think they're doing it because of the new PC client, because there's not an option for it.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That makes sense.
Because otherwise, you play a mobile game like they'll have their airplane mode available.
Hmm. I mean, I guess you could just turn, like, could you not just turn your Wi-Fi off on your computer?
I mean, I guess you could. Yeah. I'm thinking like I couldn't because I'm streaming it, but yeah, most
Right.
people could.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. In your case, that's a you problem.
That's I'm gonna delete your account problem.
I probably deserve that. Um, yeah, I love this idea.
I mean, I think added features like this that are simple and effective and something that a huge amount of the player base is are gonna use. Like, yeah, I think it's wonderful. I mean, they could add it to GAC, and honestly, that wouldn't be unwelcome either.
Yeah. There are so many times where I will not do a territory war battle if I'm like having to watch Jasper at the time, like if I'm the only one with him at that moment. Because if for whatever reason he hits a button or something happens after I put my phone down, whatever, I don't want to preload the squad by accident. So I just sit
Right.
there and like waste time. I'm like, this would be a little bit more like fail safe in a way.
Oh, I agree. I think it's great. That's a slam dunk if
Yeah.
they can institute that. So it looks like that there's no timetable though. If it's in the data mine, it's probably soonish.
I would assume, yeah, like maybe by, I don't know how long until we get the next update. Maybe by the end of the month? Maybe?
Man, please CG, please also don't let that be your only territory war upgrade
Update.
update.
Do you think that that would be a sign that there would be a territory war overhaul? Or they're just going to put the button in and call it good?
I mean, the fact that they're paying attention to anything territory wars would actually be nice.
Fair.
Instead of just, I mean, we get a territory war Omicron every once in a while, but that it's whatever, man. I like the idea of different characters performing differently in different game modes. Like the Omicrons are cool in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And TW, I would like to play it, and they just don't have a way for me to play the way I would like to, you know.
Right.
So either I'm making decisions for the whole guild and it's miserable because I'm trying to herd cats, or I'm one of the cats who's being herded, and then I don't have any personal agency in what's going on. I'm like, oh, you know what would be cool is if I used my trench team with 3 Zetas or with 3 Omicrons on this squad. Instead, it's like, no, just put it on defense. Yep, we're mandating it. If you don't,
That's where we want. As long as, like, I just don't want to see 3-way territory wars.
3-way.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Just leave it as one-on-one. Overhaul it how you want to overhaul it, but I don't want to see a 3-way territory war.
What makes you think that might happen?
That was a thing in DSA, which was Glue Mobile, which CG, I believe, CG or EA, one of them bought it.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And
That's horrible.
it was essentially a 24-hour version of like capture the flag. And it was so like you could take over an enemy territory and then you would drop your squads in it after you defeated them. So your officers had to be on the ball every time you took over a territory because you only had 1 hour to place squads in the zone.
How mad at me would you be if I told you I didn't remember to hit the record button before we started?
You didn't hit record?
I'm just curious how mad you would be.
Probably about the same amount if we got a 3-way territory war.
Okay, so I just won't let you know. Let's just continue. We're recording. Jeez.
Oh, man. Well, do you have anything else you want to add on that really happy note?
I just hearing you talking about 3-ways was really interesting. So, no, I don't have any. I can't top that.
All right, I think that's it then.
All right, we're done tonight.
Yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning.
It's good when I hit the record button and we can start actually recording this side.
Oh God. Okay, see you next time.
Are we really done? All right. I hate that roster anyway.